ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ Namaste, all of you. Welcome back to our continuing study of the topics under Introduction to Vedanta as taught by our own dear Swami Paramarthananda. I sincerely hope and pray that all of you are enjoying the journey, the spiritual journey, and will continue to derive ananda from the teachings of our scriptures for the simple fact that the whole teaching is pointed at only one Purushartha, namely the Parama Purushartha, our own Ananda Swarupaha. The biggest agenda, if I may call it that way, of all our scriptures, especially scriptures, Vedic scriptures, the agenda is only one, and that is to aid and assist the spiritual seeker to discover his or her Ananda Swarupa. And while doing so, enjoying the journey. Let it become a sport. Although the subject matter is a very solemn subject matter, but the underlying current is that of Ananda. To discover that permanent Ananda that we all are. One has to stick with it for a length of time for that Ananda to pop out, as it were, from the teaching and sink, for the teaching to sink into our subconscious mind so that our own Ananda Swarupaha pops out and manifests itself. We are already Ananda Swarupaha, but we need to discover it. It needs to percolate down from our intellectual understanding to our emotional personalities. A simple smile indicates or is representative or represents our intrinsic Ananda Swarupaha. It works both ways. Like Pujya Swamiji says, fake it and make it. In case you don't feel happy for some reason, learn to fake happiness. ultimately you will, in course of time, discover that you are happiness. That's one way of doing it. You keep practicing to smile, to be cheerful, make it your second nature. One day or the other, you will find that it is your own nature. Or the other way around, once you get that knowledge about your own intrinsic higher nature, over a period of time, it will trickle down to the emotional plane, because of which you will exude ananda in whatever you do. Working for ananda is samsara. Working out of or with ananda is moksha. So the entire agenda of all our Vedic scriptures, Veda Purva or Vedanta, is only one: to help us all discover our Swarupa, Ananda Swarupa. That is why more and more people should jump into this bandwagon and derive the benefit of this wonderful and unique teaching. We must all share our experiences of hearing these valuable lessons from Swami Paramarthananda and our other gurus who belong to this illustrious Guru Parampara, and draw them to this axis that they may also discover their intrinsic natures. During the course of this study of the topics under Introduction to Vedanta, we just covered the all important topic about the Atma. We should recall over here that Swamiji had given us, had mentioned an upaya or a method to discriminate, to help us discriminate between the Atma and the Anatma. It is called Drik Drishya Vivekaha. As an adjunct, I had also added the topic of omact and non-omact to the study of the Atma, that will help us understand better how to discriminate between the Atma and Anatma. In the topic that we are about to enter, we will be exploring cosmology, or specifically Vedic cosmology. Cosmology as looked at by our scriptures. In other words, we are looking at creation the way our scriptures look at it. So let us enter this topic. the topic called creation, or in Sanskrit, SRISHTI. SRISHTI. Swamiji says, in the last few sessions, we looked at some of the important technical terms used in the Vedanta Shastra. We must remember that Swamiji has been basing this series on the important primer text called Tattvabodha. That is a very beautifully laid out subject matter that describes all the paribhasha shabdaha, that is the technical terms that are used in our scriptures. Getting familiar with them will aid us in understanding more advanced texts like the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the Brahma Sutras, and any other Prakarana Grantha that we may choose to learn. So, among the technical terms that Swamiji exposed us to through Tattvabodha, we first studied what is meant by sadhana chatushtayam. Sadhana chatushtayam. The fourfold qualifications required for learning and assimilating the Vedantic teaching. Just to recall what they are, Swamiji puts it across very simply as the 4 Ds. Because all those words begin with the letter D. So, discrimination, in Sanskrit, vivekaha, then dispassion, in Sanskrit, vairagyam, then the third qualification is desire. A desire, a burning desire for moksha. In Sanskrit, mumukshutvam, moksha ichha, tivra moksha ichha, mumukshutvam. And the fourth qualification, important qualification, is a qualification of discipline. Discipline. In Sanskrit, Shamadi Shatka Sampattihi. Shamadi Shatka Sampattihi. The sixfold inner wealth. And what are the sixfold inner wealth? We saw they were enlisted as Shamaha, which is mental control. Damaha is sensory control. Then we have Uparamaha. It means the strict observance of one's own dharma or duty. In Sanskrit, swadharmanushtanameva is defined by Tattvabodha. Then titiksha, it is endurance of heat and cold, pleasure and pain, etc. Developing the quality of forbearance or sahishnutvam in Sanskrit. Then shraddha, it means faith in the words of the Guru and Vedanta. Then the final inner wealth, samadhanam, it means developing single pointedness of the mind. So these were the 4 Ds that make up the sadhana chatushtayam, which Swamiji taught us in the earlier classes. We will pick up the thread and move on in the upcoming capsules. Hari Om.